Hey guys, this is Film Buff Grabiak. Today I'm going to be looking back at the first video critique I ever did, why the Inbetweeners has amazing writing. And yeah, I stand by a lot of my opinions on this show. I still think it's a fantastic show. I hear people quote it a lot, and I completely understand why that is. And yeah, I should do more on the Inbetweeners in the future. I used the clip from Will Gets a Girlfriend because it has the all friends quote, which everybody quotes. But yeah, I think, and yeah, like Justice League, like I remember enjoying it, but it doesn't have that great writing in it. And and The Simpsons I remember it being really funny in its heyday, and it has a lot of emotional depth to it. And Mother Simpson is one of my 10 favourite episodes. And Big Bang Theory, unlike most people, I actually enjoyed this show. Even if it did go downhill in later seasons, I still enjoyed a lot of the jokes in it. And that episode, the 200th episode, that had a lot of good moments in it. And yeah, I enjoy Adam West's cameo, and that scene I showed with Sheldon and Penny, that was actually pretty wholesome, and it really shows the great friendship the two have. But this is the first video critique I ever did, and yeah, there's a lot of things I would do differently if I were to do it again. I think in terms of the editing I did, as you can see, I think in some situations there's a half second of footage shown before cutting to the next angle within a certain scene, and I'd try and refrain from doing that in future, either by showing different areas of the clips or slowing them down. But yeah, I think otherwise this isn't too bad, especially for my first video critique, and it's still my most popular one to date by a long shot. But yeah, I think regarding what I did, I think I wanted to talk not just about the Inbetweeners themselves, but also the characters around them. I talked about Donovan with Will and Charlotte with Will and Carly with Simon, because those are the sort of the connections they have. There's Donovan's rivalry with Will, Charlotte's brief fling with Will, and Carly's relationship with Simon. And because, yeah, they are the characters who interact with the most. Donovan and Charlotte don't have as much interaction with the other main characters, and Carly doesn't have as much interaction with the other main characters. And, yeah, I think... we get, and regarding this video, we have, Simon, who desperately tries to win over Carly, but she ends up using him to her advantage, and yeah, it's and then you get the movie where she keeps on trying to do this, and then eventually he realizes that she's not good for her, and so he eventually realizes that Lucy has been good for her. And it's kind of a shame what they did to her in the second movie. She suddenly becomes clingy and abusive, which is a bit of a shame, really. And yeah, you get Charlotte, who is much more friendly. Even after breaking up with Will, they remain on good terms, and yeah, she actually seems to care about Will and most people. And yeah, and then there's Jay. Come on, I think everyone has met someone quite like Jay in secondary school or sixth form or whatnot. I didn't do sixth form, but I did do secondary school, and yeah, I knew a few people who lied about who they were. They made up ridiculous stories to try and look popular. And yeah, I mean, of course, then you have Jay's dad, who ruins Jay's attempts to be popular in front of the others, although I don't think any of them are really that fooled anyway, except for Neil. But yeah, this scene from the Xmas prom episode, I really like how Jay opens up to Big John about wanting to be noticed. And it's sort of the idea that when he meets a girl who's just like him, he pretty much pawns John off because, well, he's finally being noticed. Except that also it's kind of a shame that he can't be open about it, because when he does try to be open about it, he almost loses her. She pretty much says the exact thing that Jay normally says to someone else, an offensive remark. But yeah, and when Jay ends up getting the girlfriend in Chloe, and she breaks up with him, he continues to lie about what happened because he doesn't want to look vulnerable. And yeah, then you get Neil, who, yeah, doesn't really get the same kinds of moments as Will, Jay, or Simon, but he's sort of one of those characters who, as well as having some of the best lines in the show, there is substance, and his dumb lines are genuinely funny. And yeah, he does also show loyalty to his friends. He doesn't know what to say regarding Jay's breakup with Chloe, but he sort of like tries to say something that he thinks will help Jay out. Like he says, "We'll get you some chips," and yeah, like although it's not like the idea that chips will solve his issue, it's sort of like the idea that they could take Jay's mind off the situation he's in. The idea that he can like sort of like they can go to maybe a chippy or something and escape the situation. And yeah, the movie, I really like the movie. I believe by the end of them that the boys are best mates. And yeah, I really like this ending from the Xmas prom episode. I think it wraps up season 1 nicely. But yeah. Oh yeah. And then we get the bit of the video where I talk about how I'm bored of hearing people request a season 4. I'm just like, it's never going to happen. Get over it. Or it's not going to work if they do. And yeah, like The Hidden World, like I didn't actually think that much of this film, but I really like the third act and the way it wraps up the series. But yeah, I hear people say that they've left it open. I'm just like, no, they haven't. If they bring back the dragons, it makes the end of the third one pointless. That's a spoiler alert, by the way, but to be honest, if you wanted to see it, you've probably seen it by now. Although, if you wanted to see the American Inbetweeners, you should not see it. But yeah, I think this isn't actually too bad a first video critique, and a lot of my friends like it, but yeah, I don't think it turned out too badly in the end. And yeah, so that was just me talking about the first video critique I did, and I'll see you guys later.